All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. And our sole purpose is to teach Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, thus saith the Lord, right? And we're teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians exclusively because guess what? They're the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, right? God's, chosen people, right? The people that are to be set apart, which the Christians love to tell you is walking on water. You got a halo, things like that. But to be set apart simply means in the Bible to be holy, right? And Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are holy people. And it's not my words. It's what the Lord said in the Bible. Okay. And if you're tuning in today for the first time, today is Tuesday. Tuesday is relegated for Brotherhood. Okay. So every brother that you may look at on any platform, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, anything, that brother, if he's in the I.S.U.P.K, his teaching will be geared towards Brotherhood. Okay. And that's just a tradition in the school. It's important that we learn Brotherhood because guess what? We don't learn Brotherhood anywhere else. On the face of the earth, we're taught to be Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians to be selfish and go after what it is that we can get. Right? What's the term? Crabs in the barrel. Everybody know that term, right? Be crabs in the barrel. Be wicked to your brother. Be wicked to your sister. However, because Christianity is, the doctrines of a devil, right? They'll never tell you that, in these scriptures, the Lord is concerned with our brotherhood, right? How we treat each other, the way that we conduct ourselves, right? The way that we go about, our everyday lives interacting with a brother or a sister, right? And guess what? If it wasn't so important, guess what? It wouldn't be penalties and judgments for these things when you make a transgression against them, right? But the Lord knows something about us, that we're more loving to the other people, right? The people that are round about us. We're more compassionate to other people, right? The Lord had it so that He had to make commandments to make us love each other. That the laws that we keep are in line with what real brotherhood is about. Because on the face of the earth, we're not giving it to each other unless we have the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, my topic today is Salakia. My topic today is gather together for real brotherhood. Okay. We're going to first start off at Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
Okay, we're going to pause for 1 second. So this is in Numbers is in the law. Okay, so everybody wants to know, like when you speak to a Christian and they want to somehow try to talk to a brother like you're gonna force him to love everybody. But the scripture right here just said that these brothers assembled together, they gathered together, right? And the way that they were recognized, right? They had to first declare their pedigrees, right? What's a pedigree? Your family line, right?
Right.
But it goes, it's a little bit deeper than that with the Lord. It ain't that your mother is Israelite. It has to be why by what? It has to be by the house of your father. We're gonna get into it, right? So, this concept that's in the earth about loving everybody and everybody is the same. Right here, this scripture right here lets you know that the Lord only deals with a certain people, right? And his men, the men of Israel, the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? You didn't know it, because of Christianity, but guess what? You are the people that are supposed to be separate, right? You are not to be loving everybody. You're supposed to gather together and give your love to each other. right? Instead of building a mega church for some heathen touching this holy book, these holy records, you make him have a 20,000 seat mega church, and he a heathen teaching you what is in the Bible, right? Meanwhile, this is something that was supposed to be exclusive to a family on the earth, right? And this family was what? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Khan, by the house of their fathers.
By the who?
House of their fathers.
So when you declare your pedigree, you get a brother and he come up there and he's like, my wife is Caucasian, or my wife is my mom is a African. Guess what? If your father is from these 12 tribes, a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, a Negro, Hispanic, right? Or so-called Native Indian, right? Guess what? You are Israelite according to the Bible, right? The Lord cutting out all the confusion that's in the world about who your alliance and who you supposed to be, who you supposed to give your love to, is all cleared up, right? Because the Lord told you right here in this numbers right here, right? Who he declares as an Israelite. All right, keep going.
Khan. By the houses of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls.
So he was saying, to be considered a man, you had to be 20 years and older, right? And then it's saying by their polls, right? So in the land of Israel, you had a staff, and you had your family's father's name and his father's name, and it ran it all the way down. And then one day you became a man, and that staff went into your hands, right? And that's kind of like the proof that you are who you say you are. If you are Judite, we know that you came Shamyar Ban Yahawada, right? And then my son, he could put his name in that staff, and it would just keep going on and on. That's how you be able to keep a constant record. Today, like I said it before, that grandma, when every child is born, she get her Bible out, and there's these front pages of the Bible. She'll write everybody's name in it. Yep. It's inherent that we keep track of who we belong to. It's a spiritual thing. Grandma had everybody's name written in there, when they was born, what time they was born. Right? Just think of the staff as the same way. The staff was what? The way that you can nobody can go against you when you said that you from Judah, or you from Gad, or you from Asher. You know what I'm saying? There's no way nobody can stand against you, because guess what? You have the staff of your fathers in your hand. Right? So, but however, fast forward history, our people have been destroyed. Those names are in no more remembrance, right? And thanks to the Most High and I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA, brothers know now who house they really belong to, right? Whose house they belong to. Because if it was left up to our oppressor, guess what? We would have last names like Jackson and Williams and Garcia and Reyes. You understand me? Hernandez with an S if you're Portuguese, right? Those names don't belong to us. And guess what? And you don't even feel comfortable. You're not proud of that name. That name don't mean nothing to you. You know why? Because the language that you speak, wherever, it may be Portuguese, it may be Creole, it may be English, right? Those things, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna put your own spin. We put our own spin on those languages. They came from filthy, stinking heathens, the same way those filthy names came. You understand? So the Lord telling us what? That we supposed to be a separate people. We supposed to gather together, and we supposed to know who it is that we're dealing with. Right. When a brother gets up here on this podium, right, and you do Sabbath service, guess what he's doing? He's going to state his registry. He's going to say Quadam, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yashala before he steps up here, because these things mean something. You know what I'm saying? Just think about what destruction is. Like, you on social media, and some rapper or some person that's invested in Bitcoin, he think that because you in poverty, we in poverty, that we destroyed. Poverty ain't what makes you destroyed. What makes you destroyed is not knowing who you belong to, right? Not knowing your family, not knowing who rightfully on earth you supposed to have your allegiance to, who you supposed to be willing to give your life up for. Our brothers and sisters, they joined the Esau military, and every brother that's in that Esau military right now, I feel for you, and Lord be with you. You understand? But guess what? You fighting for people that are not your people. I know you was taught, you thinking that when you go in there and you put on them red, white, and blues, and you put on them BDUs, and you clicking up, you getting ready to go out there for battle. Guess what? In the end, you doing the bidding of another nation, right? You making sure that the white supremacy that's always been over our people, you making sure that it's solidified over us still to this day. When you go into they armed services. But the Lord told us that we're supposed to be separate and we're supposed to gather together. Okay? Drop that, brother. Let's get Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. And everybody knows how we run it. Okay? If you got anything that you want to bring out, if it's a question, if it's a brother online that has a question, if it's a sister online that has a question, if you got a precept, bring it out. It's helpful. It helps class go, it just adds to it. Everybody's point of view should be, received when we have in class, because that's what it is. This is class, right? It ain't just me. I don't want to glorify myself and sit up here and talk for 2 hours like, I'm a know-it-all. And, I like to see brothers and sisters participating because it's a classroom, right?
You
too are, brother.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. So I want y'all to really reflect on what in this book of Zephaniah. He says, gather yourselves together. Yeah. Can you imagine a brother saying, yeah, come on over here. Yeah, gather yourselves together. Just like our Negro would talk. Right? Yeah, come on in. Yeah, you too. Come on in. Gather yourselves together. Oh, nation not desired. Who is the nation that is not desired? You understand? Guess what? It's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right? You'll look on YouTube and some dirty stinking Hamite that eat fufu and elephant bones will sit there and make you believe that we are the same people because he can't get on a damn train in Ukraine. But guess what he was doing for the previous 2 years? He was going up and down through Ukraine making money and nobody was oppressing him. But him not being able to get on the train, now he want to complain. He was making big money in the earth, right? But however, now all of a sudden that is wartime and he want to cut tail and get back to Ghana. Now all of a sudden he can recognize oppression, right? But when it all said and done, black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are constantly oppressed. I ask any little filthy stinking African, whenever is anything done to us, when do they ever shout out and say, help the blacks in America? Help the Hispanics that are in South America and Mexico. When do they ever open their mouth and say anything? I'll wait, because it'll be never, right? However, but this is what you know about the heathen, man. The camera is always on for them, and they oppression. This is how you know that they not our people. People actually care about what happens to them. You'll get it, right now, police can blow a brother away, and you'll never hear a word until after 2 weeks, and then they put the camera in front of his mama crying. However, African, he can't get on the train. Look at the earth, caring and concerned. And what's shameful is that it's our people that be caring about these people. You caring about Ukrainians? You will really tell me that you care about Ukrainians? That's how we say it in the school. That's house problems, right? What's going on between Ukraine and Russia? Them house problems, right? They disobeyed their daddy and they getting a spanking for it. You understand me? And here it is, because you see a little warfare, because that's what the world is really about, right? If you in Chicago, Illinois, or if you in any major city, we under constant warfare, right? Ours just look different. Ours has a man with a badge and a gun, right? That'll blow your brains away if he think that you stole something out that store. However, these heathens got a good and fair warning to get out of there. They had a good, fair warning to surrender to their daddy, right? They daddy Putin. They chose to what? Stand up against him. What you feeling sorry for him for? Nobody ever gave us a fair shot. You got something, Officer Kawhi? It's heavy you say that, because I keep saying these pray for Ukraine, pray for Ukraine. I just want to stop one Negro, ask him, you said pray for Ukraine on your Facebook page, right? What did you pray for? Let me hear that prayer. What did you really pray? You know, to ask your white Jesus. What did you ask for Ukraine?
Right.
They say these things just so like, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you. They're not really praying.
No.
They do that as an outward expression of them, like, you know, I love everyone. I'm caring. But I really want to know what they pray. I want to hear one of these prayers.
Right.
I want to hear what they actually said and what the hell they praying for. Christians.
What? That's heavy. And you know what's you know, that's in the house. That's in the house of Christianity. That little, I'm gonna pray for you. You ain't gonna say not one. Oh, you ain't gonna utter not one word to the Lord about me. Right. And that's what we taught in the Christian church. Right. That's that outward expression. So that I make everybody believe I'm such a good guy or I'm a good woman, right? That I on the outside I care for others, when really you just a filthy, wicked, you know, sinner, right? You care more about red bottoms than you do about a brother that lived down the road from you and you know, he in destitution, right? You wouldn't dare not go to Starbucks and give him the $7 that it took for your venti latte cafe double shot espresso. You wouldn't dare, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't dare not give that brother the $7 you would spend on your coffee. You understand? Because everything is like how Christians come at you. They come at you like, you know, oh, I'm concerned with everybody. Because why? Why would they do that? Let's ask these hard questions about why our brothers and sisters think that it's some benefit from them to care about Ukraine. It's because what? So one day somebody gonna care about you all of a sudden? But we've been here 500 years. And no nation has given a damn about us. They have not given a damn. Mass murder has been on this earth, and it's going on for 500 years in North or South America, in the Caribbean islands, and nobody has uttered not one word. You know why? Because they benefit from us being slaughtered. Right? Sugar wouldn't be at the. Can you imagine you go and get a bag of sugar right now from Walmart because they done perfected the process. They done perfected the process of making sugar, because at one time it took slave labor, and brothers would heat a cauldron and strip this sugar cane and put it in there with water and boil it until all it was left was the syrup from the sugar cane. Keep boiling it until it turns to crystal. Guess what? You get tired. You have heat exhaustion. You can't go no more. Guess what the oppressor did? He kicked your behind right into that cauldron so you can keep them. So all the other brothers don't be concerned with them. And you had to keep on working. So I ask you, why would you want to join to a people instead of yours that understand what real affliction is, that understand what real warfare is, that know how to, you know, survive on the little that we get. There's brothers and sisters I know that will have a bag of rice and some beans. And if everybody hungry, guess what? We all gonna eat on that bag of rice and beans. You get what I'm saying? We all poor together. But guess what? You ain't gonna learn that in Christian church. You're gonna learn how to be a selfish bastard in the Christian church. You understand? The more we sit in them houses, the more and more we sit in them houses of another God, we learn the ways of another people. And the ways of another people is directly against what the Most High God said. Okay? And Zephaniah is basically saying, gather ourselves together. And we the nation that's not desired. And, you know, I know, you know, everybody think that, you know, because you got a little bread and now you can sit up in them, you can sit now up in them clubs where, you know, they sit at them tables with them bow ties on, you know, doing Bojangle dances for the white man, right? And Salakia, the oppressor, you know, I don't want him to cut my string, right? But you think that, you know, all of a sudden that you're welcome in these places. The whole time they calling you the N-word. You send your children to them uppity schools. The whole time you teaching your children how to deal with microaggressions. All day long, them children afflicting them. The teachers are afflicting your children. All you teaching them to be is weak, right? To take abuse so that what? You can go and be a CEO of some weak Fortune 500. So you could be a CEO of a Fortune 500. You let your children be destroyed by your enemy because you're so concerned with separating yourself from your own people. When Zephaniah said what? We are to gather ourselves together. Drop that, brother. Drop that. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 11.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 11. When all Israel is come to appear before the Lord, thy power, in the place which he shall choose, thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing.
So in Deuteronomy is the law. So you notice that I'm talking about brotherhood, right? But guess what? I'm bringing out the law at the same time. That's funny how that works, huh? And guess what? Is it a coincidence that your Christian pastor tell you what? The law is done away with? It's not a coincidence that he tell you the law is done away with. Because guess what? You will behave the way the Lord wants you to behave. You ever hear them devils? You ever heard the devil say, oh, y'all, they march to a beat of a different drum? I never understood until as I got older. We do. Right? And that vibe that we march to is the Most High power. Everybody else marching on that on Esau's what's it called? Aerosmith beat. Right? Yeah, taps. Right? Meanwhile, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, we march into a different rhythm. Right? And that different rhythm that you don't really realize that you're dealing with is the Most High power. Right? Your judgment is so in line with what the Lord says. That's why you can't believe when some devil will kneel on a brother's neck and get 20 years. But however, a brother shoot Jaquan down the street, he's up under the jail for his whole entire life. You can't understand that because guess what? We don't, in Israel, we wouldn't pervert justice. That's what the Bible says. We don't pervert justice. We have no respect of person. If you murder somebody, it's one penalty and one penalty for all. So guess what? You have a way of thinking that is like the Most High. And guess what? The church can't beat that out you. The church can't make you say, but all the church gets you to do is what? Put the blinders on and act like it ain't happening. Right? Here it is, that Botham Jean. I always think about certain brothers. Botham Jean's mother would work for an ambassador of some Caribbean island. She was like did work for some island. So anyway, he was sitting pretty. He was a brother that was, chilling, eating ice cream, kicked up on his couch. And a devil came in and blew him away. And what she get, 5 years? So reverse that and say some brother came in because he thought Botham Jean was sitting pretty and he did the same thing. What you think gonna happen to the brother? So guess what? We supposed to be a righteous people. And it says we supposed to gather together and read this law before all of Israel. This is what we're doing right now. If you haven't noticed, the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA is the only place where you get the law read to you. It's the only place. That's right. It's the only place where if you got any question about the law, or if you're moving in accordance with the law, that it's a man that has actual authority that understand the Bible. Because you go to with Pastor Joe Willie, his whole total understanding about the Bible is all off. You say, Pastor, I was thinking about getting this tattoo. Oh, go ahead and get the tattoo. Go ahead and get the tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get, yeah. You doing it for your wife? Oh man, go ahead and get that tattoo. Guess what? He's saying that because he got no understanding. He got no understanding about the Bible, and he should put the Bible down. He should come in here and be a young man in here, and we're all black, right? And learn. Thus saith the Lord. But guess what? When you get paid, when you get all that money, and somebody paying you to speak and say your little foolishness, you think that what you're saying is right. Meanwhile, the whole time you destroying the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians with it, with your trash, with your doctrine from other nations. When the Lord told us to gather together, you understand me? Keep going with that verse 12, brother.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 12. Gather the people together.
What? Gather what?
Gather the people together.
Gather black, Hispanic, and Native Indians together. Here it go again. Keep going.
Men and women and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear the Most High your power, and observe to do all the words of this law.
Good night. He's saying gather lottie-dottie everybody. And when it's talking about the stranger, don't get it in your mind that now all of a sudden it's some Caucasians in the mix. Nah, that's not how it went. The stranger is somebody that might be living from afar, and he happened to be visiting at that time. But when it say gather together, everybody, right? The stranger, even though those that don't live. So, like for example, Captain Nythok helped me understand the concept of stranger. He said, "Y'all brothers welcome me, and I'm from another place. I'm a stranger here." You understand me? And that's what it means. So guess what? Every man, woman, and child, and the strangers. If you're a brother and you just here visiting, or if you're a brother and you trying to make this your new home, right? You're not really familiar with this place. You're a stranger, according to the Bible, right? Guess what? You're supposed to gather together and observe all the words of the Bible. And guess what? All the words of the Bible are what? Do thus saith the Lord, and love thy brother. And that's not me. That's Christ. Christ said that. I could pull it. All you got to do is motivate me. Right? Drop that, brother. Let me get Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 18.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 18. For thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, God himself that formed the earth and made it, he hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Most High, and there is none else.
So the Lord is making like a kingly decree here, right? He telling you, I made everything up in here. I made the heaven and earth here. And so people will say, well, how God talking? This is why we do this work that we do, because we all want to be Isaiah, right? We all want to be Christ, that we have the authority to speak for God. Right? Christianity want to put the bibbity bobbity boop, the little Disney magic on it, right? But it's not that. It's a man that is so in tune with the Lord. He's carrying the spirit of the Most High, that he got the authority to speak for him. Right. This is what Isaiah is saying. The Lord made everything. You understand me? And he's speaking for the Lord in this instance. He said he created everything, and there is none else. He's saying there ain't no other God but me. There is no power to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians but me. That's right. It ain't your money. It ain't Caesar Borgia. It ain't that damn rock in Mecca. You understand me? It ain't nothing on this earth. It ain't charging crystals. Right. There ain't no other God but the Most High power. There is nothing that can take you out of the condition you in but the Most High power. Right. You understand? Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Khan. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Most High, and there is none else. 19. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth.
So the Most High through Isaiah is saying, I ain't spoken about this truth in secret. I ain't hid this law, statutes, and commandments in a secret place. You had to find it. No, I did this openly. Right. I sent priests and prophets of the Lord throughout your generations to tell you what it is that I think that you should be doing. Right. I didn't hide nothing. Right? To this day, you can pick up a Bible that the Christians tell you that the law was done away with, and they tell you to only read Psalms and the New Testament. And stay away from Revelations, because they can't understand that at all, right? Because guess what? Revelation will tell you what the color of Christ. We got to stay away from that one. Revelation 1 and 14 tell you what Christ's color was. Oh, we got to stay away from that. You understand? But the Lord is saying, I didn't hide none of this from you. You hide yourself from me. Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Khan. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I am the Most High, speak righteous. I declare things that are right.
Good night. He's saying to Black, Hispanic, when he's saying Jacob, he's talking about the progenitor, the creator, the father of Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? So when he speaks like this, he ain't singling out nobody, right? That means lottie dottie, all 12 tribes. He talking to all y'all. When he says Jacob, he's saying all of us. There ain't nobody excluded, right? And he's saying that I didn't hide what this truth from you in a secret place. I'm not telling you to seek me out in vain. I'm not telling you to come find me for no reason, right? I'm not telling you, I'm not, I'm only concerned with you doing righteous, right? And I declare that all things be done right, right? This is the type of power we serve. Meanwhile, all the other nations come round about us, and they pervert the things that are righteous. And guess what? You would never do that with these heathens brought to you if you would have been holy in the first place. If you would have kept yourself away from them, keep them at arm's distance. Yeah, man, you all right? No, we don't shake hands, man. I know y'all brothers see us on video and some devil want to be nice to us, and the brother be like, "No, we don't shake hands." Guess what? That's how we supposed to do them, man. We got to do them like that. They done destroyed us for 500 years, man, with that smooth, sweet, we care about you stuff. Meanwhile, the Lord wants us the whole time to seek out what is right. Keep going.
Verse 20. Assemble yourselves and come draw near together.
Assemble yourselves. That sounds like gathering. Assemble yourselves. That's like, gathering together. I just said it. You better get together, man. You can't do it. Look, you can't do it by yourself. You want to know how many brothers? It's countless brothers that we can look at through history that tried to tie us together with their foolishness. And they try to do it on their own. And guess where the Lord put them? To death. You understand me? If it ain't got us being together in one with these laws, statutes, and commandments, it's going to fail. I don't know what more I need to say on that, but we're gonna keep talking because I got another hour and 15 minutes. But I'm just trying to tell you, I don't know what everybody think that they got some new age, newfound. I found out I was Igbo and Africans are Israelites too. You a lie.
That's right.
They over there eating bone stew and human teeth and chewing it for my lanta. You understand me? Keep going, Officer Kawal.
Ye that are escaped of the nations, they have no knowledge that is set up the wood of their graven image, and pray unto a God that cannot save.
It says, ye that are escaped of the nations. Guess what? If you're in the I.S.U.P.K, guess what? You escape from these nations. You understand? You think that brothers be on the corner and yelling at the top of their lungs, or they come to class and they give up so much of their life. They have their families looking at them like, man, all you care about is this, right? All this is all you care about. Think about this right here. You were able to escape the nations. Don't you want that for your brothers? Don't you want that for your sisters?
That's right. Don't
you want that for them? It's not okay that I just got it. I want everybody else that feel what I feel and escape these people. These people want to harm us. These people want us to die, man. They want us to go to war with them. So guess what? Russia can drop a bomb on us all together. You understand me? They want you to be a partaker in their sin, like the Bible says, right?
That's right.
So guess what we doing? We have escaped from the nations, right? And it says they have no knowledge that set up the wood of their graven images and pray unto a God that cannot save. Right. So guess what? We ain't got to worry about no old false God. You understand? Because we escaped these nations. We escaped these nations. You hear me? Caesar Borgia has no power over me. He probably had power over me when I was a young man in that Christian church. And you look, and Granny had that up on the wall and be like, man, what's that on the wall? Oh, you better not talk about Jesus. Oh, you better not talk about. Guess what? He don't got no power on me no more, man. Right. Caesar Borgia has no power. No sweat, brother.
Sir. And it's so heavy what you say, because if I may, I seen the same thing, in my grandma's house one day. I go to the house, this where the brother just found out that Black Spanish, Native Indians, and the true Israelites of the Bible. We already knew kind of have a sense that Christ wasn't no devil, but we worship him. You know, and I found out he really truly is a black man according to the scripture. So I seen that in my grandma's the picture. I said, Grandma, let me take that down and throw it away. Don't you throw away my Jesus. You ain't gonna throw away my grandma. That ain't Jesus. That ain't who the scriptures say that he truly is.
Right.
No, that's him. That's him. I said, so if I show you the scriptures where, you know, in Revelation, we don't read that scripture, you know, Revelation, which is so crazy because, you know, the most Christ said, I come in a volume of the book.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you saying that you don't want to read Revelation or you think that Caesar Borgia is your God. That shows you, man, we love these oppressors more than we love our people, man. Love each other, man. It's a lot.
Most High in Christ, you know, and what's heavy is this is how you know a Christian don't have the spirit of the Lord.
Right.
The Lord is about war.
That's right.
If you can't even deal with the sheer fact in Revelations that it's war coming, guess what? You don't have his spirit.
That's right.
If my people, if I have to lose everything so that my future generations can continue to live, and it have to happen by warfare, it have to happen by bombs, so be it. You get what I'm trying to say? So that they have a fair shot at doing this and nobody will ever stop them again.
Right.
We get censored. You understand why we call the oppressor the devil the Bible speaks of? We have to always change pages. We get up to 100 people. I'm gonna tell y'all, bro, if y'all listening, you get 100 people on your subscriber list. They go and lie and said you said something and you really didn't say it. They'll cut your page. Then you got to start all over again. So guess what? Most of brothers and sisters, y'all ain't got the patience to go look for your brothers no more. And that's the Christian spirit. You don't have the fight in you. It's always warfare going on.
That's right.
You understand? It's always warfare going on. So guess what? I'm gonna tear the truth away from you. I'm gonna take it away. And guess what? You got to do your due diligence and fight and find the brothers that you was listening to before. But most of us, we just give up. Oh man, they shut their page down. I don't know what happened to them. Nah, brother, we fight. We get up on another name, and you got to come find us.
That's right.
Officer, cool down.
If I may with a precept, Baba Kishore.
Most High Christ, let's go, brother.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the pulling down of strongholds, man. So you know, that's so heavy you say that because again, that's a carnal mind to not even want to try to find your brothers, man.
Right.
That's a carnal mind to, you know, because we get shut down, you know, you understand that this is what Esau does. That's one of the wiles of the devil that we speak about. But again, man, you being carnal minded instead of being the spiritual minded and trying to find these brothers. You was listening to us before, and you found us before. What was the problem by doing it now? And it ain't like they said, we like drop pennies. We ain't hard to find, man.
That's right.
That's a lie.
And trust me, the brothers is diligent, man.
Right.
We find out that the YouTube shut our page down. We up trying to make another one.
Right.
Because guess what? This work has to continue.
That's right.
7 to 9, Monday through Friday, it will be a class going on.
That's right.
Sabbath service will be going on no matter what Esau think.
Right.
He shut down his one page, and he kind of, I'm going to tell y'all brothers and sisters something too. He knows the psychology of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right. He knows us so well. You think that we not his enemy. The number one rule in war is to what? Know your enemy.
Right.
To know how they operate. You have to know them. I have to know what hurt you.
Right.
Right? I have to know what I can do to you to make it so bad on you. Right? And guess what? One of the things he know, that because we've been raised in that Christian church, we got zero fight in us. You understand? Right. And that zero fight is gone. Right? We're so disconnected from one another that as soon as you start gravitating to brothers that speak the way you want to speak, and you start feeling that strength, he want to rip that away from you. Right? And this is what Esau is about, man. He all about war. But you know, the alternative is what? To keep going through life the way it's been going. Right. Dying of foolishness, right? Smoking cigarettes, right? I always thought in my growing up, I always thought I never, thanks the Lord, I never had a stint with cigarettes. I tried other things though, but we ain't gonna get into that. But cigarettes, however, I always thought that cigarettes were a form of slow death. Like you constantly just banging them, bam, 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 bam. It's like you don't. It's a way of getting rid of yourself, but you really didn't get rid of yourself. If I'm making sense, it takes 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road for you to really see the effects of what cigarettes would do to you. You know, and with that, I just went off anyway. Let's get Isaiah 45 and 21.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 21. Tell ye and bring them near. Ye let them take counsel together. Who have declared this from ancient time? Slakia. Who have declared this from ancient time? Who have told it from that time? Have not I the Most High? And there is no power else besides me. I just God and a Savior. There is none beside me.
So guess that's what the Lord's saying again. Gather together, man. It's so important. How you gonna gather together and it's 200 denominations of Christianity? You don't want to get in Catholicism because Catholicism tells you can't get an abortion. So now you go and flip to one that is more lenient towards that. Right? You don't want to you don't like Southern Baptists because women can't teach. They can't be pastors. Right. So guess what? I'm gonna go into AME Zion. Right? This is what we do. Right. We all after doing our own lust instead of doing thus saith the Lord. Right. You can't gather together trying to do your own damn thing. Christianity said it so that you could do your own damn thing inside of it. Right? Everybody know that homosexual is an abomination. A gay is an abomination. Everybody knows that. Everybody looks disgusted when you see that man swishing from side to side in the church and beating the tambourine. All y'all looking like this. Y'all don't want to look at him. But guess what? He up in there. He up in there. Because guess what? You know, it's gonna be a house. It's gonna be a Christian house for him to go in there and be comfortable. Right? And that's what it's all about. Christianity ain't about building brotherhood, and quite frankly, it's actually about tearing down brothers. If I'm making sense, that's right? Masculine men being together as one. That ain't going on in the Christian church. Right. Guess what's going on in the Christian church? But women rule that thing. If you say one thing out of order, you know what I'm saying, you next to getting kicked out because you offended the women in that place. But the Lord wants what? He wants men to be men and women to be women. Right. And he got rules for it. I know it sounds wrong because, you know, we got such Christian ears. But guess what? The Lord made men to be men. It's the whole concept behind us having a beard. Right? So that you can signify a man when you look at him. You know what you're dealing with. Esau even know that. He know not to call. He better not. He got to talk to you like you was a man because you got a beard on your face. Oh, but he wants you to be shaving booty face though. He can call you a boy though. He can treat you like a boy, right? He can treat you like a boy and you're a grown man. You better put this back on your face so everybody know what they're dealing with. It start there. Right? To come together the way the Lord wants you to come together. Let's get that 22 one more time.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 22. Look unto me and be ye saved.
Good night. It said, look unto me and be ye saved.
That's right.
This ain't what the Christian church be talking about. You get dipped in the water, all of a sudden you saved, right? The Lord is making a direct parallel to you doing the law, statutes, and commandments. Because what he said in the earlier verse, the law, right? That's Open the book of the law. Right. So he said, you come to me to be saved.
That's right.
What is get the law done away with? How you gonna be saved and you ain't got the law involved with it? Right. The Lord just told you right here that you come to him to be saved. Right. The only way you can come to the Most High power is doing the law, statutes, and commandments. That's Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am the Most High, and there is none else.
There you go. You understand why the Lord wants us to get together, right? And brothers in I.S.U.P.K are basically the only men that are fit to make sure we get together as a people and do thus saith the Lord. Right. Everybody else, I know you don't wrecked it. You think that you in this I don't know what some of y'all names is. Y'all weirdos. When I see y'all out there, some of y'all dressing with sashes on your side, and some of y'all got little drapes on your head. Some of y'all got fringes on t-shirts. Y'all looking real soft, brother. You're looking real soft. You think that real men is gonna follow you? You think men gonna follow you when y'all look borderline soft and sissy? Look like anybody can do whatever they want to do to y'all. You think real men want to go up under that banner? Why you think brothers left the church? Real brothers left the church. They ain't up in there. Then you gonna give them a pseudo Christian version of it to make it look like y'all against Christianity, but y'all really Christian on the inside, man. Still getting edge ups. Still can't do thus saith the Lord. You still after whores. All that mess y'all doing, man. That's why we tell y'all need to get up under here, man. Officer Kowal.
And bringing their women to camp.
Bringing you
what they call camp.
Good night.
One real camp, that's I.S.U.P.K.
No, they call that fellowship.
Well, yeah. They're bringing women to their fellowship, their public fellowship.
Fellowship.
They're sitting out there in lawn chairs, look at his honey. Ridiculous.
Esau feels no threats. Meanwhile, the camp spot in Raleigh got a camera pointed right at us. It ain't no camera on them poles except the one that we stand where we post up at camp. You understand me? Because they know what real men look like. You understand me? Meanwhile, you got lawn chairs. Y'all all out leisurely looking like y'all at the beach. They not worried and concerned about y'all, not one bit. Ain't y'all tired of being tried like, look, tried like you're soft? We supposed to gather together, man. And guess what? The only real authority when it comes to this Bible is I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA. You might have learned from some brother that can tell you, oh, I was in the old one West. Guess what? He was a trooper. He was a 50. And he used that as his way, his out to get out there and make his own camp. You understand me? He was some weak. He barely know the scripture breakdowns. And that's why y'all out there flawed in y'all breakdowns. That's why y'all out there talking about y'all can rape women. That's why y'all out there saying all the foolishness that you saying. Because guess what? You learning from a trooper. A brother that was once a trooper in the school, and you're going to call him your high priest and your elder. Y'all sound like real fools. You understand me? I'm mad. The reason why I'm mad is because I think about what these brothers go through when they go to camp, what these brothers give up and have to hear day in and day out, trying to do thus saith the Lord, what they gotta withstand. And here it is, y'all taking the easy way. Y'all taking the easy route. The brother that y'all learned from took the easy way out. He didn't stand there like a man. Guess who did? Commander General YAHANNA. That's right. You think that I want to stand next to somebody that quit, that gave up, somebody that was so vain and lustful that he wanted to go do his own thing. He couldn't stand together, gather together like everybody, like the Bible is telling us right here. Right. You went in and made a subsect of a group and talking about, oh, I was in the old one West. I was in the old one West. No, it's still one West. What you talking about? That's disrespectful, fool.
Damn right. Damn right.
It's still one West. Ain't never stopped being it. That's right. All it is some new blood in here, brother. And this new blood is not playing with you. Right. If you don't want, and I suggest it's this one particular brother. I'm just going ahead and say it. It's one particular brother like he loved to stop by the camp. One day you're gonna get embarrassed. One day we're gonna get the go ahead to go all the way in on you. And I suggest you leave it alone, brother. Drop that. Drop that. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 10.
Come. This is 4:10.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 10.
This is the book Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 10. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
Okay, this is what the real importance of brotherhood is, right? It's just like when anybody was in Esau military, you did everything by what they call the battle buddy system. Right. You never walked by yourself. How a heathen know this? How a heathen knows the concept of number, and men of Israel rather walk somewhere by themselves and put yourself in danger. Right. the Lord laying this concept down, and he laying it down extraordinary, right? He's saying, for if they fall, the one will lift up the other. Ecclesiastes is wise words, right? This is the reason why you stick together. This is the reason why you gather together, right? Keep going.
But woe to him that is alone when he falleth.
Good night. Woe means destruction. So guess what? You out here being renegade. You out here raising, going to camp, and it's one of, just you. And you out here speaking in amongst the Esau. Guess what? Destruction is coming. Because a brother that go to camp and he got brothers, you best believe when they say take ground, we taking ground, brother.
Right.
When we say go to ground, guess what? People gonna move out the way.
That's right.
However, your little weak camp and your little staff is not gonna keep Esau off you.
Right.
Keep going.
But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have none another to help him up.
Good night. That sounds like brotherhood to me. If I fall, guess what? I got brothers that'll pick me up. And that's in the heat of battle. And guess what? It goes with everything.
Right.
In life, if I fall, my brother that'll pick me up.
That's right.
Guess what? That's what the whole concept of ties is. Ties ain't brother and sister be like, the law is done away with. And your Christian pastor still take the ties. We find that real convenient. But guess what he do with them ties? He buy a Rolls Royce. He bought he go live in Peachtree in Atlanta, right? He live in Peachtree in the gated community away from you, and come to the lowly ghetto where you are to preach to you, so he can get that tithes money. Because guess what? That's not how tithes supposed to work. It's supposed to work so what? If one of us fall on hard times, those tithes that been paid help the brother and help the sister, right? So it's not only physical when you fall. All right, keep going, Officer Kowal.
Verse 11. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone?
Good night. Just imagine a real cold night in Officer Kowal.
Sisters, our sisters need to really pay attention to these scriptures, man. Because I just think in my head of all the women in my family and families that I know of. Some big mama, husband still alive. She ain't no widow. If she every bit of 65, 67 years old with no man. A rat come in the house, who gonna kill it?
Right.
In the wintertime, who gonna change that, kerosene out or go chop that wood for that fire? You in a cold bed because you so miserable, that demon on you can't fight it. You're so mad and angry and bitter and stubborn that you rather be a damn alone. When all these men out here, man, it's ridiculous, man.
Right.
Like they should read stuff like this, and it really should sink in and let them know that the Most High is wiser than you, man. Two's better than one. Why would you want to be alone?
Right.
It don't make no sense to me.
And what's heavy is all it takes is you to be a good sister.
Right.
Right. That's the thing. Like we always make everything out to be so difficult between man and woman, right? Brotherhood and sisterhood. No, the same consideration that you want for yourself, you're supposed to give it. Right. Then you're dealing with another layer from a perspective of how you're supposed to talk out of your mouth. Right. Why would a man want to share a house with another woman that believes she's a man too? Everybody has a role. Christianity told you there's no roles, right? That's the concept of America, right? Gender fluid. 27 genders now. But you in the household and you think that's gonna flow in an Israelite household. The Lord said it's man and woman up in there. And quite frankly, part of it is what? Being together, gathering together, doing thus saith the Lord. And he's letting you know how important having a brother and having tackling those issues together are. In a cold like in Ukraine, Russia, Siberia cold. Guess what? You could gather together and huddle and keep warm. But if you by yourself, Lord be with you, because that's the only one that only person that can save you is the Most High power. When you ain't got no brotherhood, and quite frankly, the eyes of the Lord, that if you ain't got brotherhood, you might as well go ahead and perish. You understand? Just think about them. Just think about it real hard. Just think about everybody you knew that had lack of brotherhood, and watch and think about where they ended. Just think real hard. Drop that, brother. Let me get Romans chapter 12 and verse 10.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 10. Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love.
Be kindly affection, right? One to another with brotherly love. And that's sisterly love too, right? Be kind. You got, be kind to each other. It ain't saying affection like how a Christian church, like, you already know how the Christian church is. Yeah. It's something sweet with it with them, right? So we got to always clarify. It's just like when somebody eating a hot dog, you got to look around because of Christians. Because of Christians, we got to clarify scriptures like this because they made everything soft and gay.
That's right.
When it's saying kindly affection, it ain't talking about y'all hugging and loving each other like that, right? It's being kind one to another. You understand me? Prefer each other over others. And guess what? When you're a brother in here and you become a young man, you start that process and you really see how brothers prefer you over others, because we understood what it took for you to get here in the first place. All the things that you got to battle throughout the day to come into a classroom to be amongst these brothers. We respect you. And guess what? We got some strong over here. You hungry? You understand? Oh, you need fringes on your pants? Oh, my rib can do it.
That's right.
You understand? Kindly affection to each other, man. And all it took was for you to come in these doors, man. That's what we trying to always explain to you. It ain't something it's not something that you got to build up strength for, right? The scriptures say, let who is weak say that I am strong. All you got to do is come through here.
That's right.
Take them initial steps and trust me, it ain't what you thought it was. Keep going.
Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another.
That's what the affection is, preferring one another. I prefer the brothers in here over everybody else. Right. If you in this thing right here, I prefer you over all the other things I could be doing. I'm talking about going to the beach so Esau can call the police on me because I went past the barrier, and I went past the barrier on the beach. He called the police. I can't even enjoy these places that I'm supposed to enjoy. Right. Guess what? When I'm coming here though, I can smile. I could be at ease. I know that there's nobody that got malice against me. Right. It's nobody that want to aim to hurt me. Nobody that want to do any harm to me or my children. Nobody that wants to do harm to my family whatsoever. Right. Matter of fact, that man that's sitting there at that door, he will protect everybody in here. And guess what? He's been trained to do it. Where you gonna get that? What, you gonna go into the Christian church and what, all the women gonna jump on the assailant? Because that's about us all left, a bunch of old ladies in there. What, the women and the children gonna jump on the person? No. This is a place of refuge. This is a place of safety for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. I think that I don't think that like brothers understand what it is that you got. We call it a brotherhood, but this is a safe place. Guess what? All the problems that you if you're a brother and you might not have your citizenship, guess what? In here, you a brother in here. You a citizen of Israel. You understand? You ain't treated nothing but like a brother in here. You ain't got to worry about no ICE being called on you. Right. Matter of fact, who you talking about? He got a different name. I don't know that name. Who is Hector? You understand? Who is that? Because guess what? We got different names in here. Drop that, brother. Let's get Romans chapter 16 and verse 17.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 16 and verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Good night. So I remember somebody asked a question about is it wrong for a brother to avoid another brother or sister when for the sake of them not being they had a little art. The scripture says you're supposed to mark a person that is going to keep you from doing thus saith the Lord, right? Keep you doing the righteous things all the time. You should avoid them, right? They're causing you to have division, right? If you're going to be the source of why me and my brothers can't get along, I have to stay away from you. If you're going to be the source or the sore spot that I can't enjoy my brother like I've been enjoying him for years, then I might have to stay away from you. I might have to avoid you a little bit. It ain't nothing personal, because guess what? The relationship that I want to maintain is this brotherhood. So guess what? It is what it is. Brotherhood over everything. Sisterhood over everything, right? That's how it's supposed to be. If you're gonna be somebody, like for example, your mama, oh, y'all don't come and do Christmas no more. Guess what? You ain't causing no division amongst here. My brothers won't embrace me the same way. They found out I done went to a Christmas party. My brothers find out that I went to a Valentine's Day celebration. They gonna be looking at me side-eye, brother. You understand? So guess what? I don't want to be that. I want to be right up in here in this safe haven. Right. Keep going.
And avoid them. Verse 18. For they that are such serve not our Lord YAHANNA, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
Good night. So guess what? Valentine's Day, man, that happened a long time ago, man. Man, come on, man. It's just about love. We just celebrating love. Man, Christmas for them children, man. And you like to see them smile? All those are speeches that deceive you, right? To keep you in division.
Right.
See, we sometimes as a people, we don't even understand how spirituality works. Right? We have an idea of spirituality, and you don't realize that it's always on the work. And we have an angel that does his job very well.
That's right.
The angel Satan does his job very well. He is out here to make sure that you don't get saved.
Right.
If he did it to Moses, who parted the Red Sea and brought our people out of bondage, out of Egypt, the Lord gave Moses all the power to bring down a whole empire.
Right.
And guess what? Satan was his adversary when it came time to it. Because guess what? This is what he works on. He used your grandma.
That's right.
When you know you ain't supposed to be doing something, and your grandma, come on, baby, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Yeah, you grew up on it. Yeah, them hot dogs, damn well got pork in them. She want to feed it to the baby. Your baby got to be strong and fight Satan. Be like, nah, grandma, I don't want that. Oh, you just disobedient. You got to take all them. It go through levels too. Get angry. I'm going to give you a whooping. Right. Oh, I'm going to talk to your daddy about this. No, you teach your children early to fight the devil. Right. Fight Satan, should I say. Right. You understand? This is what we up against. That's the type of warfare we under. It ain't about no damn Ukraine and no damn Russia. Right. It ain't about going and joining no damn armed forces and fighting. That's carnal, like Officer Quadam said. All your fights are spiritual fights. Are you going to give in to what other people told you that make you you? When the bare essence of it, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're a child of God, right? You're his holy people, and you're supposed to live by a certain standard. And you're not to allow others that are aiming to, trust me, the other people know that who you are. They understood this for thousands of years, that if the Lord was on our side, that they will be nothing, and we will rule over top of them, because we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. However, if we don't keep it, good night. All bets is off. We can do whatever we want to do to this people, right? And that's why the Lord said we're supposed to gather together. And these are some of the things that go on in Christianity. All the other things that, brothers come with their newfound religion. One of them boys gonna call himself nature boy. He just do whatever he want to do because he feels like it's the nature of the thing. Right. You know, if I just want to grab this woman out here, I can just have her. Live by no standards. If I feel like doing whatever I want to do, I do it. You understand? This is what we up against. That's a spiritual thing.
Right.
Pulling and tugging on them things that might you might be attracted to, you might be warring with, you know, the desire to do whatever you want to do. Right. But what Paul said, the thing that I love, the thing that I love, I don't do. He was saying it for a reason. There's things that I want to do and I can't do it because of this right here, the law, statutes, and commandments, and because of the brotherhood. I always think about before I do something, am I gonna shame the brothers if I do it? Right. It ain't. It's the law is on my mind, right? But guess what? I be thinking about these brothers in here. That if I do this thing, the shame that I bring them, the shame that I bring if I do something that I ain't supposed to do, I will shame them if I do that. Right. They gotta walk around. Everybody be like, you know, even Fayetteville, they had that nigga that did. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be talked about. It's gonna be murmurs. Officer, go on.
I say you say that too, because back in the world, you know, there's difference between having that shame and being shamed in here. Now that you in the truth, it's spiritual. It's like, you know, God forbid you get caught at a birthday party or a Christmas that work Christmas party, or you celebrate New Year's with a stupid hat on and a kazoo in your mouth. And if somebody catch you in a picture, you like, man, you be, you know, 9 to 1 to kill yourself. Like, damn, I can't believe I got. Right. What was you thinking? That's a whole different type of shame compared to what people in the Christian church, they don't have that concept of shame. No. Women wear what they want to wear. The men wear periwinkle and twerking. It's a bunch of mess, and nobody has any shame for anything. But here we do. Like we wouldn't dare get caught doing any of that. It is very offensive. Right. It offends your brothers. We're like, oh, what the hell is he doing? But in the world, we don't. You know, we didn't used to think like that. People in the world, they have this mindset of Christianity where, you know, nothing is shameful anymore. Like you just said, you can do whatever you want to do. That's right. Will, you know, that's heavy. That's real heavy, and that's part of being in a brotherhood. That's part of being a brother, that you bring shame to your household. Right. Just imagine you did something and you had to go back to Bonkyard when you was younger. Just think about that. You took an L from Jimmy down the street. You had to come back and tell Bonkyard. That's a shameful thing, bro. You taking L's out here, man. Brothers don't want to do nothing but bring back glory. Right? I only want to. That's why you hear General Muhammad say, I only want to report good things to Commander Junior YAHANNA. You know what I'm saying? He'd be ashamed that he got to come and report some foolishness. I understand what he's talking about now. When you start growing a bond and you start holding brothers in high esteem, you don't want to be the weak link. I'm against being the weak link. Drop that, brother. Let's get Colossians chapter 4, verse 5. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 4, and verse 5. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. So the scripture says, walk in wisdom towards them that are without. So guess what? Everybody is not your brother, right? Everybody, you know, I see them when I'm out and about, go to the gym, and there's some fake Israelites doing their workout with fringes on their shirt in the gym with a t-shirt on. Doing the workout, dirty shirt, and I'm looking at them, and I be wanting to say what but then let them be. I gotta walk in wisdom, man. Everybody at all times, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to make a hostile situation, you know what I'm saying. Trying to correct everybody, right? However, if you step before me, you're gonna get thus saith the Lord, and I'm gonna tell you about yourself. I'm gonna tell you what a garment is, and I'm gonna tell you wearing underwear, brother. Right? Keep going. Verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. So the scripture is saying, be when you talk to people, man, think about what it is you about to say out your mouth, right? Learn how to speak to every man, right? Some people require a sword. Some people require a feather. Right? That go for sisters too. That's right. You can't come with the sword always to your man
and then expect that you're gonna get the feather in return. That's not how it works, right? You always got to learn how it is that you're speaking to somebody. Assess who it is. First of all, I realized something about us as Israelites. Words mean a whole lot to us. It ain't like Esau. Esau say he got freedom of speech. That means he can go in the corner and call you the N-word, and he ain't supposed to receive no violence. Right? But however, when it comes to our people, words are damn near sword strike. It's many people get put to death over Facebook. They be on Instagram talking about pull up, and then all of a sudden they ducking because somebody done really pulled up on Instagram. Because words actually mean something to us. These things that are said out of our mouth are powerful. Just imagine the scriptures are words that came out of men's mouth. The living book right here is what the whole entire earth uses to try to control Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Because guess what? Words mean something to us. These words mean something. So guess what? You think that everything else that come out your mouth is nothing? No, words mean something. You threaten a brother, and guess what? And you a believable brother, he gonna feel threatened. You got something else going on?
I remember, I think it was in the 90s when Bart Simpson said, "Eat my shorts." And you say that to a brother. I mean, they eat my shorts sounds like something else. Like you told him to eat a Frank. He about to kill you over that. So words do mean something.
Words mean something.
We don't even process them the same.
No, and that's what I'm saying. When it comes to Esau, he just reckless out his mouth. Every brother done seen. I hope every brother done seen that video when the so-called oppressor said the N-word, and the brother just unleashed on him in the restaurant. Slap the dog, what out of him. And that go to show our people, man. The words are mean something. And just think about oppression. Just think about oppression. That everybody makes a word or byword or a slick saying or some way to ridicule you every day of your life. You think that words don't mean nothing? Words mean everything, right? And so the scripture is saying you need to learn how to speak with season, man. Right? Learn how to talk to every man. Learn how to speak to brothers and sisters. If you a sister and your words, how you speak to one brother contrary to the other, you think that brother ain't picking that up? Men are observant. I can recognize when you talk to a brother in a kind manner, and here it is, you talking to me reckless out your face. I can recognize that. And you can play like it ain't nothing, but guess what? We not Esau up in here. It means something. Words mean something. The way you came at it, the way you shook your head while you was talking, the way you approach everything, it means something. We are not those people. We are not in the Christian church no more. You understand? Christianity teach you to be very businesslike. That's why a lot of time our people, they don't succeed in business. And what I mean by that is it's hard for you to take a L when it comes to business, right? People don't like that back end stuff. They want theirs up front. I invested up front. I want all mine back. Nah, but they want to pay you on the back end in a bunch of installments, right? So when it comes to business, you take it personal because certain things is not our nature. It's not the way that we get down. All of it comes out the Bible. It's in your nature to not be able to participate in things like that. Right. But you're trying to do it in the way Esau told you, and it don't fit you. We are totally separate people, right? We was divided from the beginning. So guess what? The way that you can find out how it is that we are is right here. And you follow these rules, guess what? You'll learn how to talk to every man. Drop that, brother. Let's get Proverbs chapter 8, verse 6. Proverbs 8 and 6.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 6. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things.
The opening of my lips shall be right things, right? Hear the speak of excellence, right? That's what I try to aim to do. When I try to speak to people, I really do. And I be trying my hardest, and I'm weak like everybody else. I can get in a rut. I can feel bad. I could be upset. I can get upset that you're not receiving the intention of what it was that I was saying. Right. I can really, I really have a strong desire to always do that which is right. But I'm weak just like everybody else, right? I fall short. Right? Keep going.
Con, verse 7. For my mouth shall speak truth.
However, what you ain't gonna get me to do is speak lies.
That's right.
I'm gonna always speak truth. I done did enough of lying. You know what I'm saying? I done did enough of lying. What they say, you done lie so much you don't know what the truth is no more, right? You understand? I don't know. For now on, I aim to speak the truth. Keep going.
Con, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips.
It's good night. If Proverbs came from King Solomon, the wisest man that ever walked the face of the earth. And he said, wickedness is an abomination to come out of my lips. Right? To tell somebody to do some evil, right? Like the Christian pastor like to do. Right? Go ahead and get that. Yeah, go ahead and down there and get that. Them vegetarian greens. Oh, see, she should have put the hog maws in it. Oh, she put the fat back in it. Yeah, like mama used to do. Yeah, wickedness don't never come out my mouth. You hear me? That's what King Solomon was saying. Keep going.
Verse 8. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them.
He said everything, all the things that come out of my mouth are righteousness, right? Nothing froward or perverse come out of my mouth, right? He letting you know how when we talking about that season, how you speak to people. Can't nobody you ever notice when a kid tells somebody something and it be the hardcore truth? You can ask, like, the girl be like, am I fat? You hear a kid say, yes. She can't be mad because it came in truth. You can't be mad at the truth. You just got to accept it. Yeah. The parent be like, go get out of here. You hear grown folks talking. Yeah. Because guess what? The child don't know that they supposed to be sparing no feelings, right? They don't, that's something that you condition to do over time and age. But children speak the truth. You hear me? If you want to get embarrassed, you better just ask it in front of a kid. He gonna embarrass you. And tell you what you really look like. You looking in the mirror, thought you was all that when you left the house, and then some little kid told you exactly what it was. Right? Keep going.
Verse 9. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge.
So a man that is in the I.S.U.P.K, he got access to real knowledge. When General Hyman or Commander General YAHANNA tell you something, and for a damn, it might hurt. It might hurt what he's saying because he damn near describing you. You know in the end that's a righteous statement. You understand? You got to accept it. And guess what? Because you love and respect them, you change. Right? People think that like going to counsel is a session for you to get yelled at. You might get yelled at because you might be reckless. Right? And they trying to stop you from going in front of the train. Right? But counsel is really some men that you respect and hold dear over like all men that you have ever met before. They wisdom surpass any man that you have ever seen before. And you go, and this is your one chance to talk to a man of just imagine to Esau what the president is. You know what I'm saying? Imagine to Esau what the Pope is, and you get to sit in front of them and listen to whatever garbage a heathen will talk about. However, now think about it as an Israelite. You had them brothers that was in your neighborhood and gave you a 8-ball and told you to bring them $100 back. You know what I'm saying? They bet $100 on you in the basketball game or something like that. You're not dealing with no man that love you, that got wisdom, right? However, now you have men that are on that level and you got access to them. That's why it's men that they will give their life up for them. You think this, you just gonna get up on them? You must be out your mind.
Right.
And so when you go to counsel, it's for you to get to understanding how to be a better man or how to be a better woman, right? Because they seasoned with salt,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
No, nothing forward comes out of their lips,
Right.
right? No abomination, wickedness don't come out of their mouth, right? Only the right things that pertain to a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian come out of their mouth. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 10. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold.
Wisdom is far superior than pursuing some gold and some silver.
Right.
I know you like to be slugged up and draped up. Just think about what you got to do to get that, though.
That's right.
But the wisdom of how to really live your life and to have your family's life in order is way more valuable than them damn gold and that silver.
Right.
Keep going.
Khan. Verse 11. The book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 11. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
Wisdom. If you go in right now and go look up the value of a ruby is always been top notch. It's a rare thing in the earth.
Right. That's right.
And King Solomon is saying that to have wisdom is better than having rubies in your hand. You understand me? To have access to real wisdom. See, it's one thing like brothers be like, or a sister, what school did they graduate?
Right.
Did they go to Yale or Harvard? How are they counselors?
Right.
How can they counsel anybody? Guess what? That Harvard and that counseling they get from Yale, from that psychiatrist or psychologist, right? They learn to tell you how to deal with things as a Caucasian.
That's right.
Nobody is well versed in niggerdom, right? But Commander General YAHANNA,
That's right.
General Muhammad, you understand me? All the generals, they are supreme understanding of who it is, the nature of who it is that we are, the bare essence,
Right.
to strip away all the foolishness of this world. They understand you better than anybody on earth could ever understand you. That's why a brother will go to counsel over them than some heathen and damn that graduated from some smarty-arty, big-head Negro college.
Right.
That's why. Okay, drop that. Let's get Proverbs 17 and 27.
Khan. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 27. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of excellent spirit.
He that have knowledge spare his words. Once it's like when you first come in the truth and you start learning that first as a trooper, you want to tell everybody good night. And you want to battle everybody, run everybody off. Family can't have a good time. They like, don't come here with that bull. I don't know if he should come over here. He's gonna mess up the whole vibe. But as you get older and you get more knowledge, you get more seasoned in this thing and have knowledge. Guess what? All I tell you is just don't open the door. If you don't want the Bible being spoke about, you better not say not one word, because I'm not gonna let you rely on it. I'm not gonna let you tell falsehoods about it. Because I was raised under Commander General YAHANNA and I.S.U.P.K. that this is our business. Ain't everybody got these credentials to be able to open this up and say anything about it. So guess what? If you want to go down that path, I'm gonna mess up the vibe in there. But guess what? If you don't want to, y'all just want to love me and we just all have fun, you better not say nothing about the Bible. Right? Don't offer me no shrimp, and you already know what I don't eat. Right? We ain't even got to go into it. Oh, why you don't want to eat them? Because it got pork in it. If you start asking them questions, I'm gonna tell you. And then you don't open the door. So guess what? You better just deal with me correctly. Just say, oh, okay, you don't want, okay, no sweat. Move on. Right? A man that got understanding, right? The man of understanding is of an excellent spirit, right? And that's basically what it is. When you're young and you full of that vigor, you ain't as knowledgeable, you want to go ahead and cut everybody to piss. But as you get older, you realize what's really important. Right? Keep going.
Come on, verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
Even a fool, your uncle that get a little drink in him, if he be quiet, everybody think he's such a wise man. Just imagine that. He can knock back a 12-pack by himself and cut the fool. But if a stranger walks up and he said not a word, he would think he was a wise man. So guess what? With this truth, as I get older, I understand I ain't got to be on constant attack, looking for every heathen to destroy. The Lord gonna do it himself. Keep going.
Come on. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
What did it say?
And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
I always like that saying. It said, the Lord wants you to listen more than you talk. That's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? You know, as you get older, you start understanding these little sayings. You don't need to run your mouth that much, man. What need to be said, right? However, you ask me though, you're gonna open up, you're gonna go down that rabbit hole. You ain't gonna like it. So I just tell you, don't afflict yourself, right? You don't want to hear righteous things. Don't say nothing to me. Talk about Kobe and Jordan. Right. All right, let's drop that. Let's get Psalm chapter 2, verse 1. You know, because the whole concept of class today was about us gathering together. And I went over those scriptures talking about the way we speak, or the things like wisdom and things like that. Those are the things that separate us as a people, right? We don't know how to deal with each other. You ever seen brother so ghetto or sister so ghetto? She think that her opinion about anything is just matters. Like, you get what I'm saying? You could have not said that. You could have just been quiet, but you had to say that. Just like on Facebook, you see somebody, they post something. Oh, I wouldn't have did it like that. Nobody asked you. But the social media has turned everybody into a critic. Right? Everybody can do something better. Right? Everybody want to tell, a brother in the school how he should do his class, or what we should do when we out in camp. Well, you should speak a little softer, man. Maybe you'll get more people. Man, we ain't worrying about everybody. You understand me? We want men that want to be men. If you want to act like a sissy and be talked to soft, then go to the Christian church. Right. We want men that like somebody that, that pull it out of you. Right? That that what if that when you walk away, you felt like a man in the end. You was like, oh, okay, I got a shot of it now. I get what they doing now. Now I feel like I'm not a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like I'm a real man. We don't want you. If you like that soft approach about everything, guess what? You're not a good warrior, man. You can't be a man of the Lord. If you soft and you like everything soft and you want to, tend to the ladies, go do that. You know what I mean? Go do that. But you ain't a man of the Lord, brother. Men of the Lord like everything rough, right? You know what I'm saying? That's it. So when we talking about how we speak to each other and all that, it's about because we men and because we are these warriors inside. And once you in here now, it's a way that you talk to a brother. It's a way you deal with a sister. It's a way, those things how reckless you were in the world, and because you thought it was no consequence, you ain't got to see them no more. Right. Now you're a part of a brotherhood. You got to see this brother again. That's right. You can't just be reckless out your mouth. Right. Officer Kowal.
And that's heavy too, because you see a brother like Derek Jackson with a teal V-neck on in the car, shade, just non-abrasive looking Negro. Yeah. And Kevin Samuels with that little suit on. People will call and get counsel from these guys. He got a Steve Harvey suit on, edge up and legs crossed, Yeah. That looks like appealing to women. They look soft. Yeah. But us on the street corner with his classroom, they wouldn't dare ask a question. They'd rather assume and talk, but they won't, ask their questions. Right. They won't try to come get counsel from the men of the Lord. We look too rough, right. Just too masculine for them. It's just the world we live in now.
Good night. And what you saying is so heavy about Kevin Samuels, right? And this ain't me to go off on the brother, but they love to talk about resources. They think that the way they securing these resources by their money. But guess what? When the time comes and money has no value, all that soft stuff is out the door. A man taking your resources. A real man gonna make sure his family eat, and he gonna take your resources. So how about you act like a man? You sitting there talking about, oh, she want a man that's, got access to resources. What, Esau's money? Esau's money is about to go to trash. You think it's a reason why there's so many different cryptocurrencies? They know what they about to do in this earth. They know what they about to do in this earth. They about to turn the dollar bill to toilet paper. Russia and China is working on it. They trying to change the world standard of what the world standard of money is, the dollar bill. They trying to change that. Do you know what's going to happen to these people? Do you understand what's happening to Esau if that happens? Right. Here it is. You talking about hoarding resources. Esau's money is a resource. No, man. Real resources is land and water. Right. Real resources is your people, your brothers and your sisters gathered together under the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the real resource. Like I be trying to figure out what it is that you're really saying. You discounting everything else when it's real tangible things here. That brother that you got them damn Balenciagas on, you stepped over, that you could have changed his life with $100. The real resource is your brother. This is what we out here. This is what we do when we go to camp. This is what we do when we come 7 to 9 in front of you on YouTube. Is we out here for these brothers and these sisters. That you think that these brothers and sisters don't feel worthless? They feel worthless, man. They get tired of everybody concerned with some damn Ukrainian, some goddamn Afghanistani that fell out the damn plane because he wanted to go to the goddamn land of the big PX. You understand? He wanted to go to the goddamn AFES in America. Right? You think that, the young children don't want to be acknowledged that way? That the world actually cares about them? All they hear is that they came from slaves. You understand? However, the other thing that the world wants to omit from their ears is what we saying in the school, that they're the children of God, that they make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Think about what that does to your children. If you want to continue going to the Christian church, why would you? All you're going to do is keep passing that same feeling that you felt to your children. You can change it though, and you can get in here, and your children can start now holding their head up high. Nobody can tell them that they the N-word or that they a spick or a wetback, and they got to just take it. They got to take the abuse from everybody on the earth. Now they actually know who they are, that they come from royalty. You understand? The only true royalty on earth. Let me get that Psalm chapter 2, verse 1, brother. Salakia.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2 and verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Why do the heathen rage? It's a people out here that the Christian church want us to always forget. They call them our brothers. Right? They always want to omit that. Guess what? It's people that are our enemies. They hate us. You understand me? And guess what? When they see us come together, they enrage. When they see us on the street corner saying, "Thus saith the Lord," they enraged about that. You think that we go to Hebrew Academy just because we want to all prove that we're such mighty men? Nah. The generals want to make sure that if anything happens to one of these heathens when they rage, they guess what? They walk away with they behind hurt. And no man walks away that is up under our banner hurt. You understand me? That we the one afflicting damage and we ain't getting damaged. All you got to do is look at every I.S.U.P.K school, Kentucky 8. They left so many afflicted and they walked away unscathed. Right? You understand me? That's why we do what we do. Because the heathen rage, right? They get mad when we tell our people to gather together. When we tell our people to reject Christianity, the heathen rage, you understand me? Right? And the people imagine the vain things. What they imagine? What's the vain thing they imagine? What? The little soft baby Jesus in the manger. That's the vain thing. That thing ain't nothing. You want to look at a soft white baby Jesus. Right. When the real Yahawashi was like lightning, it said, right? He looked like an austere man. It's something that you knew that you shouldn't have played with. You better not come with no foolishness. However, they want you to look at little white baby Jesus in a manger. He wouldn't hurt nobody. Meanwhile, his people is the real murderers on the face of the earth. Right now, 2022, as we speak, the oppressor is getting busy on each other. They knocking buildings down in one millisecond. It turned to rubble. What Junior YAHANNA say, Zane? Turning it to damn Stone Age. Turning a place to Stone Age, right? Meanwhile, they want to give you the picture of little baby Jesus. That's a vain thing to think about. Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Khan, verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Most High and against his anointed, saying,
keep going.
Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Keep going.
Verse 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Most High shall have them in derision.
So guess what? Putin, Biden, Trump, these are the kings on the earth, right? And they saying, they make themselves rulers, right? That's what voting is. You make somebody a damn ruler over you, right? And they take counsel together against the Most High. How are these people against the Most High? All they care about is afflicting the Lord's children. Right? They don't make any damn. You think when them tax codes come up and them Caucasians was getting that bread all them years for 20 years, and all of a sudden you want to jump in that game. All of a sudden they close the loophole on it. Right. You think that it's a coincidence? Nah, man. It was good for them. It ain't good for you. Right. You understand? And it says, let us break their bands asunder. The bands is us being together. The bands, right? Let's break them asunder. Let's spread them away. Let's spread them apart and cast away the cords, the things that bring them together, that links them together. Like, let's break that. This is what all these people that sit up in these high places, this is what they want to do. They want to break us apart, right? But guess what it says? And he that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh. That's right. Right? And the Lord shall have them in derision. Derision means he is mocking them. Right. You think you're gonna really sit back and destroy my children? He laughing at that. All day long, y'all sit up in the what they call it, Capitol Hill. Right. Them Congress and senators all day long thinking about how to destroy blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You think them children sitting on them borders for nothing? You think that it's a coincidence that now they want to settle cases because they done lost these people, our brothers and sisters' children? They intended on losing them children. The Lord is laughing. That's right. Because you think that's going to destroy us. I remember that in the world, growing up in Florida, we was always taught that, like Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans, I'm gonna give y'all a little head like a little insight about how I was raised, that Puerto Ricans weren't our brothers, but they wasn't white. However, they stick together. And guess what, man? We don't mess with them Puerto Ricans. That's how we used to talk. And guess what? Now that I came into this school, I understand something now. You know what I mean? That's that right. These are my brothers. Right. And all that foolishness that I was taught, it was a reason why it was taught to me. Right. Because the oppressor plays the puppet. He plays the puppet master. He plays us against each other. Right? He says, in Florida, I'll make sure that they get the schooling. I'll make sure that they get this so that they can be in variance with their brothers. Right. But our problem is we don't gather together, right? The real protection to understand that me and you are both black. Me and you are both people that carry the names of people that don't belong to us. Right. We carrying people's names that are not our names. Our fathers would be ashamed if they saw that how we are living. You understand me? Right. And guess what? It happened to Ephraim. It happened all through South America and Mexico, the Caribbean islands. Right? Guess what? Now we should all join together. That's right. Let's drop that. So we done got a little the idea of what gathering together does. Now let's give an example, because our people gather together, right? But I'm gonna give you the understanding of what happens when you gather together void of the law, statutes, and commandments. You got that Black Wall Street, brother? There you go. Most High Christ. Hope every brother can see it. Just start reading it from the top, just so brothers can. I know we always talk about Black Wall Street, but this is history.com, okay? A real valid source of what was happening. Even though all Caucasians are going to try to make light of what their brothers did. But we're going to get the, somewhat of the gist of what was going on. So Lakia, so this Tulsa race, at one time it was called the Tulsa race riot because white people didn't want to acknowledge that their brothers and sisters killed a whole town of people. But now we in 2022, they acknowledging that it's a massacre now. Right? But guess what? They never want to bring none of their people to justice. It was an old woman that was 100 and something years old that lived through this, a sister. So you think it wasn't no Caucasian that was 100 years old that lived through it? You understand? They never want to go and actually give justice to us the way they would give for so-called Jewish man that a Nazi afflicted in damn Nuremberg or something. Right? They will track a devil all the way to South America because of what he did in Nuremberg.
That's right.
However, right here on this land, this soil, the people you got to look at when you at work, and your great grandmother got put to death at this, and she got to look at the children of the people that afflicted her family, and that's just normal. You understand? However, the Jewish man gets justice all over throughout the earth. And then I ask you who the real Jew is. With just with that little line of logic, the real Jews don't get no justice. Meanwhile, something that happened in the 1940s, the so-called man that called himself a Jew today, he could go and track down a 100-year-old man to make sure he could get put to death for what he did. You understand? That's how you know what a real Jew is. You got it, Officer Kowal?
Wakan. This is the Tulsa Race Massacre. During the Tulsa Race Massacre, which occurred over 18 hours from May 31st till June 1st, 1921, a white mob attacked residents, homes, and businesses in the predominantly black Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa. It's like of Tulsa, Oklahoma. The event remains one of the worst incidents of racial violence in the United States history.
I beg to differ. The reason why they saying this is because this was a city of so-called Negroes. Can you imagine what was done to the Gadites? So this is somewhat 1920s. This is somewhat modern history, right? But just imagine for the gathering of resources of this country that the so-called Native Indians were sitting on. Can you imagine what they did to them? Right. You see, it's something about the way that we are as a people. We feel it more when it's something more personal. You can see that it's black people being done. You feel a little bit more kindred and spirit to it. Right. But you will ignore your brothers that basically live on reservations because the white man took all the good pieces of land and decided to just give them the stuff that they didn't want no more. Right? Imagine what he did to them for that. He wanted the Black Wall Street from some Negroes. Keep going.
Khan. The event remains one of the worst incidents of racial violence in United States history, and for a period remained one of the least known. News reports were largely squelched, despite the fact that hundreds of people were killed and thousands left homeless.
So guess what? This thing happened, and Esau was being Esau. And you understand why we call him the devil that the Bible speaks of. You killed hundreds of people and left thousands homeless, and pretty much the world didn't know nothing about it. You understand how much of a mechanism that we're under. Media That's why when we tell you about YouTube, that's a form of media. If they want to control a narrative about what it is that they want the world to believe about you, they'll call you what? Strippers. They call you drug dealers. They call you criminals. They won't call you citizens. They won't call you law-abiding. Right. Those will never be words that'll be associated with you on the news. You understand? They want you to be ready to be prey. I hope I'm making sense. Right. So guess what? We can kill a town of y'all and nobody will care. Meanwhile, our people worrying about some damn Ukraine. You understand? Ukraine. And all they had to do is go and tell their daddy that they were sorry and go up under his flag where they should have been in the first place. And guess what? They would not be feeling any affliction right now. Right. Meanwhile, our people never were released from the people that have been the most evil to us on the planet Earth. We always around the people that are at any moment's notice that they'll be willing to try something on you. You understand me? This is why you're supposed to join together. That's right. Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Khan, Black Wall Street. In much of the country, the years following World War I saw a spike in racial tensions.
Why would during World War I, when they out fighting battle, I'm gonna get y'all brothers to understand something. When it comes to Esau is a natural coward. And what I mean by that is during World War I, when his nation is fighting, he at home picking on the people that do him no harm, that want to be at peace with him. You understand? He ain't man enough to go and fight a war and get his head blown off by somebody that might hate him. Right. He'd rather go and be a bully, stay at home and avoid the war and mess with black and Hispanic people that want to do him no harm, want to be at peace with him. You understand? They not the warriors that they make you believe that they are. The reason why the U.S. military is the way it is because it's black, Hispanic, and Native Indians in there. That's right. Damn right. And I say that with the utmost confidence, because guess what? There's brothers in here that been in your ranks, and we know what the power lies. You understand me? We know what keeps your nation afloat, right. And it damn sure ain't Esau. The ones that will fly that Confederate flag do not join your military. The ones that hate the blacks the most will not join your military. Because guess what? He couldn't dare stand shoulder to shoulder next to somebody to defend some land that's supposed to belong to his forefathers. Right. He wouldn't do that. You understand? However, he'll stay at home and bully him, though. He'll stay at home while all the real men are out fighting. He'll be a coward and pick on women and children. Right. Being the real devil that he really is. Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Khan. A spike in racial tensions, including the resurgence of the white supremacist group, the Ku Klux Klan, numerous lynchings, and other acts of racially motivated violence, as well as efforts by African Americans to prevent such attacks off their communities.
Good night. So I'm going to give y'all a little understanding. World War I, black people were not allowed to fight in their war, right? White men didn't want brothers in they ranks. They really didn't, right? So guess what? That gave us a time to what? Be separate. While y'all fighting, we go ahead and what? Create what? Black Wall Street. You understand? While they out fighting, guess what? We'll go ahead and sell cattle, grow farmland, be separate from everybody. You think no racial tension was because they just don't like brothers? No. If we was dirt poor like them, they would have been just satisfied, right? But they hated to see that we was prospering, and they was the dirty bums that they always are, right? And those are the real welfare recipients. If I'm making sense, right. That's why they tell you to love Trump. That's why they tell you to love Bezos, because guess what? They gonna get the trickle. They really the one that get the trickle down from that. Some devil that is underqualified will be your manager at the slave. Meanwhile, you got 2 degrees. Right. I'm trying to refrain from cussing because it got me on 100. You hold 2 degrees and you overqualified for your position that you working in. Meanwhile, this devil tell you what? To love Bezos. because they the real welfare recipients. Keep going, Officer Kowal.
Khan. By 1921, fueled by oil money, Tulsa was a growing, prosperous city with a population of more than 100,000 people. But crime rates were high, and vigilante justice of all kinds wasn't uncommon. Tulsa was also a highly segregated city. Most of the city's 10,000 black residents lived in a neighborhood called Greenwood, which included a thriving business district, sometimes referred to as the Black Wall Street.
So out of this, what did it say, 100,000 at first? 100,000 people, 10,000 black people lived in a area to themselves, and they were thriving, while Esau was suffering.
Right.
He's a jealous, dirty. He'll tell you that let the market decide. He got all these little trick words that we fall for. Let the market decide. We don't need no wealth. We don't need welfare. Let the market decide. The government doesn't need to intervene. Oh, he needs government assistance. That was the Homestead Act. That's what the Homestead Act was about in the first place. To just give hundreds and hundreds of acres of land to Caucasians. That's welfare. You understand me? You didn't go and buy that from Native Indians. You just took that junk. Right. Meanwhile, here it is. You acting like you did everything because your forefathers worked hard for it. They slaughtered for that. And then once they slaughtered, they put a flag in the ground and said that they had ownership and they got the rights to give this land away that was belonged to somebody else. You better think about what it is that you joining yourself to, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's right. Think about it real hard. You think that this ain't never, just think about Ukraine. And if these people get drawn into a war, we against the war, right?
Right.
Guess what? You think we gonna gather ourselves together? What you think that the lowly scary? What you think they gonna do? You think Tulsa, Oklahoma won't happen again? We telling you to get under a banner under Commander General YAHANNA in the I.S.U.P.K. that is equipped and that's ready, right? We ain't saying we're gonna do no violence, right? We ain't saying none of that. We teach our people to be non-violent, but I'll guarantee that you don't want to try it. It won't be no massacre the way you think it's gonna be. We not those people. We ain't gonna lay down. We're gonna do thus saith the Lord. We're gonna defend ourselves. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class off to Officer Quadon for security announcements.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 months, after this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission